think men are the only ones who cheat? Think again. Psychologists just dropped a bombshell. Married women are 40% more likely to cheat today than a decade ago. And the reason has nothing to do with sex. Nothing. This is about a hidden pattern so dangerous it's destroying marriages silently. What if I told you the biggest threat to your relationship isn't some random stranger? It's something invisible, something you'd never see coming, until it's too late. This isn't about bad wives or failed marriages. This is about emotional starvation, and it's happening in your neighborhood, your friend group, maybe even your home. So let me ask you, have you ever felt completely alone while lying right next to someone? Most people assume cheating is about sex, about lust, temptation, or a moment of weakness. But the truth? It's rarely about physical attraction. It's about feeling invisible. It's about looking at the person you love and realizing they don't see you anymore. And the scariest part? It happens slowly, over months, years, even decades, until one day you wake up next to someone who feels like a stranger. Let's get one thing straight. I'm not here to shame anyone. Cheating's messy. It's painful. But what if we've been missing the real story? Most of us think cheating starts with seduction, a steamy moment in a dark corner of a bar. But it's almost never like that. I talked to therapists, I read the studies, and what I found? Most affairs start with a whisper, not a scream. They don't begin in hotel rooms, they start in coffee shops, Slack messages, or a 2 a.m. comment on a stupid Instagram post. It starts with a little thrill, a smile from someone new, a compliment you weren't expecting, a feeling of being noticed. Because here's the truth. Women aren't cheating to break their marriages. They're cheating to save themselves. Most women aren't trying to destroy their families. They're not even necessarily unhappy with their husbands. They're just starving for attention, starving for connection, starving for someone to look at them the way their husband used to. And if that sounds insane, buckle up, because the reason why will change everything you think you know about love. 1. Emotional neglect. Let's play out a scenario. Meet Sarah. She's been married 12 years, 2 kids, a perfect life, nice house, SUV in the driveway, vacations in the summer. But every night her husband's glued to ESPN. He forgot their anniversary again. When she tries to talk about her anxiety, he says, "You'll be fine." She's not asking for grand romantic gestures. She just wants to feel like she matters, like someone sees her. Now here's the kicker. Sarah doesn't want a divorce. She wants to be seen. So when her coworker notices her new haircut, asks how her mom's chemo is going, that's not temptation. That's a lifeline. Men, listen. Emotional neglect is the silent killer. It's not about forgetting to buy flowers. It's about forgetting to ask, "How was your day?" and actually listening to the answer. It's about the tiny moments. When she gets home late from work and you don't even look up from your phone. When she tells you she's tired and you say, "Same." When she needs comfort and you offer solutions instead. You can't fight an affair you don't even realize you're causing. 2. The forbidden thrill. Routine is passion's executioner. But the forbidden, it's electric. Scientists call it limerence. That obsessive high from secret glances, inside jokes. Does she like me? But here's what they don't tell you. Women crave novelty more than men. Evolution wired them to seek protectors, providers, adventure. Thousands of years ago, a woman's survival depended on finding a mate who could provide safety and resources. But once safety was secured, her mind would start searching for the next thrill, because novelty equals survival. So when marriage feels like a spreadsheet, when her life feels like a never-ending cycle of school pickups and laundry, that bad boy from spin class isn't just exciting, he's biologically irresistible. It's not even about sex, it's about feeling alive. That thrill, it's addictive, and once she's had a taste, going back to the same old routine feels impossible. 3. Social media's dirty secret. You want to know the real villain? It's not the coworker or the gym trainer, it's the phone in her pocket. Every time she scrolls, she sees it. Reels of guys writing love notes, couples crying at airports, reuniting after months apart, perfect husbands planning surprise trips, boyfriends holding hands in the rain, kissing in the moonlight. Meanwhile, her husband hasn't kissed her without being asked since 2019. It's not about reality, it's about perception. And perception, it's a slow poison. Because when she's bombarded with images of perfect love, her brain starts to wonder, why don't I have that? Why doesn't he love me like that? Even if her marriage is healthy, even if her husband's a good man, comparison is a weapon. And social media is handing it to her on a silver platter. Here's the twist. Most women who cheat still love their husbands. Let that sink in. They're not monsters. They're not even unhappy. They're terrified because they've become strangers to themselves. The real affair isn't with a person. It's with the ghost of who they used to be. Before the minivans, before the PTA meetings, before they disappeared into mom and wife. This isn't about temptation or bad marriages. Most women who cheat aren't trying to escape their husbands. They're trying to escape the feeling of being invisible. Think about it. How many women do you know who gave up their dreams for their families? Who spend their days working, managing the house, raising kids, while their husbands come home, zone out, and assume everything's fine? She doesn't want a divorce. She wants to feel seen. So when her coworker notices her new haircut or asks how her mom's doing, it's not about attraction. It's about validation. That attention feels like oxygen after years of emotional neglect. It starts small. A conversation, a compliment, a lingering glance. Suddenly she feels interesting again, desirable, alive. And that's dangerous. Because when you've spent years feeling invisible, the simple act of being noticed feels intoxicating. Most women don't cheat because they've stopped loving their husbands. They cheat because they've stopped loving who they've become. And here's the heartbreaking part. They don't want to leave their husbands. They want their husbands to wake up, to notice them, to chase them, to make them feel wanted again. Because most affairs aren't about passion. They're about emotional starvation. And once that starvation sets in, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If you've made it this far, you already care. So don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until she's already emotionally gone. Because once someone else makes her feel seen, getting her back might be impossible.